On June 21st, 2018, on the remote island of Streymoy, a construction company set off the first blast of what would become Sandoytunnelen, an undersea tunnel to connect Sandoy, population 1,200, to the big boy island of Streymoy, population about 20 times that, which is still not a lot. These are among the Faroe Islands, an autonomous territory of Denmark located so far north in the Atlantic that in summer, the sun doesn't set until almost 11:30 p.m. Very few people live here, but nevertheless, the Faroese government put up 53 million euros and borrowed 347 million more to build Sandoytunnelen, which connects just half the people you connect by tunneling from New Albany, Ohio to New Albany, Indiana. And get this, Sandoytunnelen was the fourth such tunnel the Faroese built. One of them even has the world's first undersea roundabout. Begging the questions, why? How? Am I pronouncing Sandoytunnelen right? And when the time comes, can I pronounce this? This is the Faroe Islands undersea tunnel system, which connects 88% of the island's population to one single road network. Driving your car one way through either of these tunnels, the first two to be completed, will cost you 50 Danish kroner, or about $7 and change. A little more if you're driving a semi, and nothing at all if you're on a motorcycle, because the Faroese government understands that ice-cold bad boys shouldn't have to pay tolls. The newer tunnels cost a little more, and will charge you for a motorcycle. In 2023, these three tunnels collectively carried over 4.5 million cars, trucks, and motorcycles underwater from one island to another, which sounds like a lot, but really isn't. The Lincoln Tunnel, which connects New York City to the great state of New Jersey, has 4.5 million cars go through it roughly every 37 days. And yes, Torshaw is no Big Apple, but it takes less than 5 months for 4.5 million cars to go through the Cumberland Gap Tunnel in Tennessee, a tunnel I found while trawling Wikipedia's list of American tunnels, trying to find one small time enough to be a fair comp here. It wasn't my worst Saturday night. The combined cost to build these four tunnels is a staggering 439 million euros, which comes out to a whole 8,129.63 euros per capita for the Faroes' roughly 54,000 strong population, or about 6,271.43 per sheep, as they have 70,000 of those. For context on how big an investment this is, the United States' big $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill from a couple years back was an investment of just $3,600 per capita, or just under $3,300 in euros, not that we would ever do anything in euros, rah rah, USA, fly, eagle, etc. But while the US would sooner sink itself into the sea than build fun new infrastructure for us, the Faroe Islands have made a decades-long priority of tunneling under and through their terrain to connect their people and their economy. From 1963 to 2006, with Norway's engineering help, they built 17 narrow, dark, scary overland tunnels, connecting places as obscure as Gasagilar to the rest of the country, saving double-digit numbers of people from hiking under a mountain to reach the grocery store. In the 80s, the Norwegians started tunneling underwater, which got the Faroe Islanders thinking, maybe we should tunnel underwater. And a short 17 years later, in 2000, Parliament approved the construction of their first, which would connect Streymoy, the island with the capital city of Tórshavn on it, with Voar, the island with the airport on it. The Faroe Islands undersea tunnels were all dug using what's called the drill and blast method, not to be mistaken with the new music genre I invented, also called drill and blast, which sounds like this. You start with extensive geological surveys to determine exactly what kind of rock's down there and where the tunnel should go. According to one Norwegian PDF I read, the research can amount to 2.5 to 7% of a tunnel's entire cost. Once it's done, you drill narrow holes into the rock, load them up with water-resistant explosives, likely ammonium nitrate-based, then kablamo. Then you clear out the rubble, line the tunnel with concrete for stability and water tightness, and repeat for a couple of years until you meet the people doing the same thing from the other side, Lady and the Tramp style. Then you finish off with electrics, safety systems, and paved road. There's also the matter of leaks. Every day, each of the Faroese undersea tunnels has to pump out 600 to 1,300 cubic meters, or roughly 1.5 to 3 oval offices, of water, which they do through a system of pipes, pumps, and pump rooms at the system's deepest 190-meter depth. The Faroes' first undersea tunnel, Verutunnelen, opened in 2002. I haven't looked up the etymology there, but I just say this part is for Voer and this is for all the tunneling. It's just under 5 kilometers long and saw an average of about 3,000 vehicles a day in 2023. The Faroese government took out an 18 million euro loan to pay for it and paid it back in just 15 years because everybody loved this thing. So they built 3 more. The next was, deep breath here, Sam, Norðoyatunnelin, the world's best way to get from Leirvik to Klasvik, opened in 2006. It sees a bit more traffic than the first tunnel and got paid off in the same amount of time. After an 11-year breather, they made first blast on Eysturoyartunnelen, which opened at the end of 2020, and features an undersea roundabout where you can choose to either go to Runavík or Strendur, or keep driving in circles because you can't decide whether to go to Runavík or Strendur. Last came Sandoyartunnelen, opened at the end of 2023. Prior to the undersea tunnels, the only way to get a person, sheep, or vehicle from one island to another was on a ferry. And I didn't come to youtube.com to disparage the Faroe Islands ferry service, though it should be called Ferry Islands, but the ferries were orders of magnitude less convenient and reliable than a tunnel. First off, you had to travel on their schedule, while the tunnels are come when you want, 24/7. Second, bad weather in the icy, raging waters of the North Atlantic cancels ferries pretty often. Third, tunnels are fast. Getting from Sandoy to Streymoy by ferry took over an hour, while the tunnel takes about 16 minutes, even less if you speed, which officially I am not suggesting, but you could. Fourth, I love a boat, you love a boat, but they're expensive. A year's operation for a Faroe Islands ferry costs about the same as building half a kilometer of tunnel. Their longest tunnel is a bit over 11 kilometers, so arguably the tunnels pay for themselves in less than 25 years each. You know, if you believe civilization will still stand in 25 years. I'm 60-40, 70-30 in the snow. And frankly, 80-20 when I see the government investing big shmoney in infrastructure that improves people's lives, whether or not that per capita cost makes obvious short-term sense. The next undersea tunnel the Faroe Islands are looking at would connect the island of Sandoy, of Sandoyartunnelen fame, to the southern island of Suðuroy. It would likely be the last undersea tunnel the Faroes build, not for lack of money or political will, but because if they build this thing, they'll have connected just about everyone to the tunnel system, save for a few islands with populations under 20, and to be clear, tunneling to those isn't out of the question. The Faroe Islands tunnels have genuinely reshaped life and industry for people. They've connected fishing spots to the airport, making exporting easier. They've connected people to the hospital, sheep to other sheep. The outer islands, which had been losing population, have become viable places to live for people who don't want to totally disconnect from the city's services or too many other people. Look at this graph of Eysturoy's population. You want to guess when they started building the tunnel? Bingo. Also, not for nothing, the tunnels make the prospect of road tripping the Faroe Islands much more appealing. Just imagine it. You and your friends, kicking back, taking in the beauty of the Faroes, long-term infrastructure investments, and, of course, listening to some sweet drill and blast. And hey, if you want to make your morning coffee drill a blast, check out this video's sponsor, Trade Coffee. Trade makes it easy to experience America's best specialty coffees from home. Simply tell them what you like. Dark, light, decaf, cold brew, whatever. And whether you like it whole bean or ground, Trade will curate perfect coffee matches for you and ship them right to your door. It's the freshest quality you can get anywhere too. Every coffee is roasted to order and ships within 48 hours. And on top of being the best, most convenient way to make a killer cup of coffee at home, it's also just fun. It's so exciting to see that little red bag on your doorstep and open it up to find, for example, Wizard Cat coffee from Cerberus. This one's kinda sweet and chocolatey, but if that's not your vibe, Trade's still got you covered. You can sort by the flavor profile you want, the process, the origin. All this to say, if you want to transform the way you experience coffee at home, give Trade a try. They're offering you your first bag free when you subscribe at drinktrade.com/HAI, and if you don't love it, they'll replace it also for free. So what are you waiting for?